You used to be good at this. You could walk into a meeting, present a strategy, disagree with the director towards your seniority, and not think twice about being seen. That version of you had no visibility fear. She had opinions and she said them out loud. So, why is it that now that you're building something that's actually yours, with whether something is small as eating publish, why does that feel like standing on a ledge? Here's what almost nobody says out loud. Leaving corporate or whatever you were doing before does not fix your visibility fear. Sometimes it's the exact thing that reveals it. And by the end of this video, you are going to know exactly why and what actually fixes it. Hello and welcome. My name is Sharon Samuel Adigbe, and I am so delighted to be in the conversation with you. I am the one you find when you're ready for your business to feel as good to lead as it looks on paper without any of those crazy strategies. And there's a thing that nobody tells you about the confidence that you had in corporate. It wasn't visibility confidence, it was role confidence. You were confident because the structure around you told you exactly who were allowed to be. You had a title, you had a scope, you had a track record that other people could point to and say that that girl, she's good at this. And that's why she's in this role. That kind of confidence, it's real, but it's borrowed because it was never actually about being seen as you. It was about being seen as the role. So when you left and you built something with your name on it, or your face in it, or your voice as the entire product, the ground underneath that old confidence disappeared. Nobody handed you a title this time. Nobody built a scope for you. You had to decide and decide out loud in public who you are and what you stand for. And there is no org chart here to hide the decision inside. That's not a personality flaw. That's not you being suddenly less capable than you were 12 months ago in that boardroom. That's the entire foundation of your confidence changing shape underneath you. And nobody warned you it would happen. Think about what actually made it safe to speak up in that boardroom. You were not the only name attached to the outcome. If the strategy failed, it was a team decision. If the client didn't like the pitch, there were three other people in the room who could own that with you. You were visible, but you were visible inside of a structure that absorbed the risk for you. Now, when you post or pitch in your business as the founder of something, there is no team absorbing that risk. It's just you. It's your name, your face, your decision. And the specific fear that shows up here is not shyness. It's the fear of being fully, personally, individually responsible for how you are received. And this is where a lot of women quietly convince themselves that the answer is more preparation, maybe a better website or a polished offer, or a few more credentials. Let's add that up before we say it out loud. But that's not caution. That's the corporate instinct to build consensus and cover before you speak. Showing up in a context that with nobody left to build it with you. You don't need more cover. You need to understand that the risk was never as passionate as it feels. Here's the shift that almost nobody names directly. You made a decision, not a soft one, not a maybe. You made a decision, and you cannot walk back from that decision. because it means something and it costs you something real to get here. And you need to have it mean something, right? You need to have it mean something. Now, the women who move through this fear fastest are not the ones who are never scared. They're the ones who stopped waiting for a structure to make it safe to be seen. And they started trusting that they already made the decision that mattered. They meet a wall, and instead of retreating into another round of preparation, they look for the door. And this is the part that get missed constantly. Visibility fear in this specific reason isn't really about strangers online judging us. It's grief, quite grief for that built-in safety net that used to catch us before we had to be the name on anything. And once you name it as that, instead of confidence deficiency, it stops being a mystery that you have to solve about your own personality. And it starts being a transition that you can actually move through. And once this actually shift, here's what changes. You stop needing the polish before the post. You stop needing 3 or 2 more credentials before you call yourself the expert you already are. You stop waiting for permission that structurally no one will ever end you again because you are the one building the structure now. And here's the part that matters the most. You don't need to become louder or more extroverted or someone who thrives on attention to fix this. You specifically need to be so clear on who you're for and what you are building towards. That being seen stops being a personal risk and starts being the natural next step of the decision that you already made. And that clarity is the entire foundation. Everything else, the content, the pitching, the posting gets easier when that is actually solid. And if everything that I just described felt familiar, the confidence that used to come earlier and easily, the fear that showed up the second there was no structure left to hide inside, I built something specifically for exactly where you are right now called the Sustainably Visible SEO Bootcamp. And it's the foundation to becoming the one your best clients find, recognize, and choose consistently in 90 days or less. Even if right now you're closer than you think to going back to 9 to 5. This isn't about becoming someone louder. It's about finally getting sustainably magnetically clear for exactly who you are for. So that being visible stops costing you your nervous system and it starts bringing you the clients that you let corporate to build a business around in the first place. The link is in the description and pin comment. I look forward to seeing you inside the bootcamp. Thank you so much for joining me inside the video today. I hope you've been able to catch something precise today. Let me know in the comment section um, if you've grabbed the link to the bootcamp, and also stay in the comment section. What is the biggest takeaway from this? Like, what specifically spoke to you in this video, from this video? Because it's not about strangers online judging you, right? That's all we've talked about. It's about the quiet grief for that building safety net that they used to have before you put your name on anything. Like that is what is actually causing that fear of visibility. And I'm so excited. I hope to see you inside of the bootcamp and in my next video. Thank you so much for joining me today. Ciao for now.